Ever get that feeling like, we're not getting the full story about, well, anything? You know that feeling, right?
Right, like we're being kept in the dark.
Exactly. And today we're diving deep on a topic where that feeling is almost a guarantee: UFOs.
And not just UFOs in a general, oh, that's kind of cool way. We're going right into the heart of the Pentagon's UFO program with Imminent, Luis Elizondo's memoir.
Now, for anyone just tuning in, Elizondo didn't just spend a few weekends looking at blurry photos. This guy ran the Pentagon's actual UFO program.
A program most people didn't even know existed until very recently.
Exactly, which is a part of the whole problem. But let's get back to Imminent. We're cracking open Chapter 4 today, and let me tell you, things get weird fast.
Understatement. Elizondo doesn't just describe the work he was doing, he goes into the extreme secrecy surrounding it. Like, we're talking SCIFs, those super secure facilities where they take away your phone, cut off the internet.
Yeah.
It's basically whispers and shadows the whole time.
Okay, see, now even knowing that much would have most people going, all right, something serious is going on. But it gets even better. He mentions Skinwalker Ranch in this chapter.
For anyone who doesn't know, Skinwalker Ranch is basically UFO, ground zero, tons of strange stories, alleged paranormal activity, the works.
It's like the Bermuda Triangle, but with more cattle mutilations.
Right, and he just throws it in there like it's no big deal. Elizondo calls it a small part of the effort, which really makes you wonder what he considers the big stuff.
Like, if that's the small print, what's the headline? But then there's this other thing Elizondo brings up that honestly is even more unsettling, and he calls it the hitchhiker effect. Have you ever heard of this?
It's not your usual UFO jargon, that's for sure.
Right. It sounds more like a horror movie or something.
It kind of does.
Yeah.
So Elizondo uses this term, hitchhiker effect, to describe the idea that, whatever is behind these phenomena, maybe it's not just something you see. Like maybe it sticks with you somehow.
Sticks with you.
Yeah, like messes with your life, maybe even targets your family. That kind of thing.
Okay, see, now that is where things go from interesting to I'm sleeping with the lights on tonight. It's not just spaceships anymore. It's like unexplained things that might follow you home.
Exactly. We're moving out of unidentified flying objects territory and into this unsettling world of the potentially unknown and unexplainable.
And keep in mind, this is Luis Elizondo, a former intelligence officer, saying this stuff.
It makes you pay attention, right?
So we've got Elizondo, our guy on the inside, knee-deep in top-secret files. And this is where his background really comes in handy. Like, he's not just searching UFO and hoping for the best, right?
Oh, no, he's way too smart for that. He's using all these sneaky search terms like, unknown technology, unusual performance, even just lights plus sky.
So he's basically trying to outsmart the system that he's a part of.
Exactly. And it works. He uncovers all these reports buried deep in those top secret servers, stuff most people wouldn't believe even if you, showed them a picture. But get this, he also learns about something called hot words.
Hot words. Okay, now that sounds ominous.
Oh, they are. These are search terms that will basically set off every alarm bell in the system, even for someone with Elizondo's security clearance. So we're talking investigations within investigations, people watching the watchers. It's like conspiracy theory central.
It's giving real Men in Black vibes.
Totally. And all this time, remember, Elizondo's just trying to figure out what the government really knows about UFOs, which, by the way, leads him to this mysterious figure, a guy he calls William Livingston.
Okay, and who is this Livingston character?
So Livingston, he worked what was known as the Weird Desk at the CIA.
They had a weird desk. You're kidding.
Oh, it's no kidding. It's the CIA. They probably have a whole department dedicated to weird. But yeah, this Livingston, he was the point person for all the really strange stuff. Unexplained medical conditions, implants, alleged abductions. Anything that sounded like an X-Files episode, it landed on his desk.
So basically the real Fox Mulder.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is that Elizondo describes Livingston as like this really respected doctor, a man of science. But you can tell that the things he'd seen, the stuff he'd heard, it really got to him.
Yeah, I can only imagine. What kind of things would shake a guy like that up?
Right. And remember, by this point, Elizondo's no stranger to strange occurrences himself. But even H.E. was caught off guard by something Livingston said about the potential technology behind these UFOs. He asked Elizondo, "Why would you presume there wouldn't be any negative biological consequences if you fooled around with it?"
Okay, yeah, that's sending chills down my spine. It's like we're so focused on the what, are they aliens? Are they time travelers? That we forget to ask the what if. Like, what if this technology is thus dangerous? What if it's already affecting us in ways we don't even understand?
And those are the questions that Elizondo starts grappling with. He wants to know, did the government recover anything from these UFOs? Have they done autopsies? The whole 9 yards. But he keeps hitting these walls.
Which honestly just makes the whole thing even more suspicious, right?
Of course. It's like the
Yes.
less they tell him, the more he's got to know, and the more we are left wondering.
It really is like he's going down this rabbit hole of clues, and you know what's at the bottom of this particular rabbit hole.
Let me guess. Roswell.
Roswell. You can't talk government secrets and UFOs without mentioning Roswell.
No, you really can't. And for Elizondo, this isn't just a story. It's a turning point.
Mm-hmm.
He finally gets confirmation, and not just from anyone, from a physicist named Hal Puthoff.
Now, Puthoff, he's a fascinating character in his own right, involved in all sorts of government research. Some of it, let's just say, a little on the fringe.
Right, like remote viewing and stuff like that. So not exactly your average scientist.
Not at all. So when Puthoff confirms Roswell to Elizondo, this is a big deal.
Huge. It's like he's finally being let in on the biggest secret in history, right?
Right. But here's the real kicker. Puthoff doesn't just confirm a crash.
He claims there were bodies recovered.
Okay, I was with you until bodies. How many are we talking?
4.
4. Like multiple crashes or?
No, 4 bodies, 1 crash. And get this, Puthoff describes them as non-human.
Non-human. Okay, that's a whole other level of wow.
It is,
Yeah.
right. And hold on, because it gets wilder.
All right.
Elizondo, he's like a dog with a bone now. He's asking Puthoff if there have been other retrievals, and Puthoff basically just says, we'll get to that later.
Oh, classic non-denial denial.
Totally. Classic intelligence world. Dangle the information, gauge the reaction, maintain control. It's like they're playing chess with this stuff, and we're the pawns.
It's kind of terrifying if you think about it, right? That they're deciding what we can and can't handle knowing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that control, that's the key theme here. Like, Puthoff lays out what he calls the post-Roswell playbook, and it's chilling. Deny everything, spread disinformation, recover the wreckage in secret, threaten witnesses. This wasn't just a cover-up. It was a whole system for controlling the narrative.
And when you think about it, the timing makes sense, right? We're talking Cold War. The arms race is in full swing.
Right. Imagine the panic when the U.S. realizes they're dealing with technology potentially light years ahead.
They couldn't risk the Soviets getting a hold of it, and they definitely couldn't tell the public what was really going on.
Nope. So they clam up, circle the wagons, and hope for the best.
It's like a spy thriller, but in real life with even higher stakes. And speaking of high stakes, Elizondo stumbles on something called the Wilson-Davis Memo. Have you heard of this?
I have. It supposedly outlines this top-secret program they call the Legacy Program. And it's not just about studying UFOs. They're trying to reverse engineer them.
Unlock the secrets, figure out how they tick.
Exactly. Now we're talking potentially world-changing technology. But here's where it gets even crazier. This memo, it implies that this technology, this insanely advanced technology, it might not be under government control anymore.
Wait, what? Like, who else are they going to give it to?
Private corporations.
You're kidding.
I wish I was. But think about it. Suddenly, that whole military-industrial complex thing takes on a whole new meaning. We're not just talking about weapons contracts here. We're talking about corporations potentially controlling technology that most people can't even fathom.
So who's calling the shots? What are they doing with this tech?
Those are the million-dollar questions, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Elizondo doesn't have the answers.
This is why we can't have nice things. Seriously, though, it does make you wonder, right?
Absolutely. And that's kind of where Elizondo leaves us, with his sense of profound uncertainty. He realizes the government is unlikely to be transparent.
Too many secrets. Too much power at play.
Right. And even if they did come clean, even if we knew everything, what then? How do you process that kind of knowledge? How do you live your life knowing that everything you thought you knew about the universe might be wrong?
It's a lot to wrap your head around.
It really is. But hey, maybe that's the point of all this. Maybe it's not about having the answers, but about asking the right questions.
So to everyone listening, keep your eyes on the skies and your minds open to the possibilities, however strange they may seem. And if you ever find yourself face to face with the unknown, maybe just ask yourself, what if? You never know where that question might lead you. Until next time, this has been The Deep Dive.